Ms. Wood?
Thank you, Honor. We're present in case State of Ohio versus Joseph Pastelacqua, case number 25 CR 630. The defendant is present today in court represented by attorney Jim Matthews. The defendant previously pled guilty to a lesser included offense of count 1, felony 4, failure to comply with an order or signal of a police officer, and count 2, aggravated possession of drugs, felony 5, with a forfeiture specification. This matter was then referred for a pre-sentence report and drug and alcohol and psych eval, and we're set for sentencing today. Thank you.
Mr. Pastelacqua is requesting community control, consistent throughout my interactions with him from early May, longer term type of treatment rather than just the jail treatment program, which he has done before in other outpatient programs. Insistent in wanting this. I've had conversations with both him and his grandfather. He's here. He indicates he is very much in need of treatment. He even outlined his relapse in his pre-sentence report and is hoping that the court will give him that opportunity.
What were you doing at the BP on April 29th?
Your Honor,
Don't have to.
okay. I was waiting there to, I was getting something to drink and I was on my way to go to my grandfather's, pick him up.
Where were you coming from?
I was coming from Wycliffe area Plaza Motel I was staying at. I've been homeless for pretty much since I've been out.
So you were going from the Plaza, a known drug house, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where were you picking up your grandfather? Why didn't you just go to Speedway at Euclid and Lloyd Road and get something to drink there?
I like the Polar Pops there better. I'm not trying to be funny, but
You know what happens at the BP a lot, right? And the men are in suites. You know what goes on over there?
although, yeah, those hotels are bad news too as well, Your Honor.
Right.
I do know that.
My suspicion is that's why you were there.
I wouldn't be lying to you. I'm telling you right now that I was there just to get something to drink.
And why were you driving your grandfather's car if you don't have a driver's license?
I shouldn't have been doing it. I'm definitely wrong for doing that, Your
I
Honor.
know that, but why were you doing it?
Because I didn't have a place to go and I needed a place to stay, and that's where I was staying. I was living in the car.
Well, you were staying at the Plaza, but why were you driving your grandfather's car?
So I could get from point A to point B.
Okay. Why didn't you get a license when you got out of prison?
I'll be honest with you, Your Honor. I had all the credentials and everything I needed. I lost my prison ID within my second week out. And with that being said, I've been to the Social Security office several times, and the BMV wasn't having it without me having an actual Social Security card. I went to Signature Health to try to get help with them, and they did what they could do as far as trying to get my Social Security card, and they sent an application. So on and off throughout my use and time, I was struggling with being able to overcome that barrier. I don't know what it is I gotta do, what's wrong with my Social Security number. I've been in front of them. They told me that they were sending it to my grandfather's address. That was my proof of residence. And several times it's been turned down and we didn't get it. Even with Signature Health, they had to use a company credit card to get approval for them to have the Social Security card sent to them. And all we got was the application. So there's definitely a barrier there. If I wouldn't have lost my prison ID, I probably would have been just enough for me to be able to do that. But unfortunately, I did lose my prison ID. I had the paper ID because I had made a copy at Signature Health, but that wasn't good enough for the BMV.
What were you going to get from the BMV?
I was going to get, well, first, there's a lot of things I'm going to have to do to get my license back. So I would have to get first a state ID to then figure out what I got to do in order to make reinstatement plans as far as getting and going to like remedial courses and paying for all that. So those are things that I was going to have to overcome on top of being homeless. So I was just overwhelmed at that time. I mean, my grandfather's, I even put it on speaker phone and asked, like, I said, well, you guys can give us a paper ID and we have to use that paper ID until you send the ID in the mail. but why can't I use the paper ID with all my other credentials in order for me to get a state ID? And they said, unfortunately, that's just the regulation. You can't do that.
I don't know how this conversation got started. What did you need a state ID for?
Well, I needed that in order to be able to go and be able to make sure that I can actually do the things I needed to do in order to get a license. I'm not going to be able to get a license and reinstate my license if I don't have the state ID. So that was my first step so I can be identified and not have a paper ID anymore.
When is all this shit gonna stop?
Your Honor,
You're 40 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've been doing this since you were like 15 or less than that. Why? I mean, I sent you to prison, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you take the Greyhound bus back from prison, and the first stop you get high.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
It's that stinking thinking. You know,
but the stinking thinking has been going on for a quarter of a century.
Yeah, you're right.
I know I'm right. I can see I'm right.
Yes, Your Honor. I need to be able to put myself in a situation where I can reprogram and restructure my mind to do the right thing. You know, I feel like treatment will be the best way for that.
So you're telling me you know what you have to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then why haven't you done it?
It's that stinking thinking. I made bad decisions, and I apologize. I'm taking responsibility. I want to be able to do the right thing.
Well, I don't think it's stinking thinking, okay? Because what you're telling me on the one hand is you know what you have to do, but you don't do it. And I suspect is you'd rather get high than put in the work you need to do to not get high and to function like a normal person in society.
I want to do the right thing, Your Honor. I agree with that. I want to be able to figure out what I got to do to overcome the barriers of being homeless and not be able to get my license, to be able to sit here and run in circles.
Who's stopping you?
Who's stopping me? Myself right now.
Why don't you get out of your own way and do what you're supposed to do?
I want to, Your Honor. I really do. I want to be able, I don't care how long it takes. I'm ready for it. I want to be able to put myself in a position to.
Didn't I put you on probation in May of 22?
Your Honor, yes, you have.
So what happened?
I wanted to go back to my girlfriend instead of do the right thing. I thought that going back to my girlfriend everything was gonna change, and it didn't. It put me right back at square one. I think the only thing I did do right is I didn't get in no relationships. I have no ties other than to myself right now. I want to dedicate to myself so I can be out and actually be a parent and be a productive member of society.
Isn't this all the same stuff you told me 3 years ago?
I mean, at this point right now, like I want to go do treatment, get help.
I know, but isn't this all the same stuff you told me 3 years ago?
It is, but I try to do it my way. I want to be able to do it. I want to be able to have people that are going to be there to help me and talk to that are professionals. I didn't have that willpower then.
But you got it now?
I would say so.
Where did you find that?
Well, it's always been inside me. I've been through the ringers in the past couple of years. So
what's the problem with the methamphetamine here?
It's a terrible drug.
I know, but it's
self-medicating.
What scheduled drug is it?
Schedule 2, I think.
Is that proper?
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely the wrong thing.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
With the scheduling of it.
As far as the scheduling, yeah. I don't know. I don't really understand that part of it, Your Honor.
Well, you spent a lot of time trying to figure out whether you were charged correctly because of the scheduling of the meth, right? What did you conclude?
What did I conclude?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first off, I'm not a lawyer. And
I know
I don't make laws. So with that being said, I conclude that in the end that I should just stay away from it, period.
Okay.
Figure out what I got to do.
Well, what did you, amongst perusing all the revised code sections and consulting with people, what did you conclude about whether methamphetamine is a properly scheduled drug?
I didn't conclude nothing.
Why did you spend 1 second trying to figure out if it was properly scheduled? What do you care if it was properly scheduled? Okay, whether it's a Schedule 2 or a Schedule 186,
that's right.
You got a problem with meth. What do you give a shit what schedule it is, other than to try to get out of the charge? Why are you spending your time trying to figure out the proper scheduling of methamphetamine?
I mean, you're right.
I know I'm right, okay?
I-
Your mind is focused on trying to figure out how you got screwed by the state legislature rather than trying to figure out how the hell to stop using meth. That's where your mind is. You tell me it's on treatment and wanting to get better and wanting to get rid of the stinking thinking, okay?
Yes, sir.
But that's all you're doing, trying to figure out the proper scheduling of methamphetamine.
Well, I want to spend my time now doing the right thing and figuring out what I got.
I mean, I'm just talking about the last couple days.
I understand that.
You've been in jail 114 days, and as of a couple days ago, you're trying to figure out whether you got screwed in this whole process because meth is a Schedule II.
Well, I screwed myself by putting myself in a situation. I want to be able to figure out what I got to do and keep that in the past and worry about studying on something proper.
The first thing you got to do is quit worrying about whether meth is a proper Schedule II.
Yes, Your Honor. Or staying away from it completely. I don't have to worry about that. Staying away from marijuana, everything. Drugs aren't for me.
The problem with you is we keep plowing the same ground over and over again.
I'm ready to do the right thing, I assure you that.
Yeah, probably shouldn't assure me of anything. Because you assured me that you would get straight back in May of 22, and I see a whole bunch of violations before I finally sent you to prison. What did you do while you were in prison to try to get a hold of your drug problem?
Well, I mean, I tried to sign up for all the program I could. I did programming. I did do the brief intervention program. I tried to get into IOP, but the IOP I wasn't available for the time that I had there. With that being said, so I had to do the BIP program, and I did a bunch of other little programming.
So what was your plan when you got on the Greyhound bus headed back to Cleveland as far as treating your drug problem?
I was planning out. Well, what I did do was I went and I ended up going to Project Hope. And with
you were on your way to Project Hope.
On my way to Project Hope. I had to wait. I had to use my gate pay in order to spend 2 days in a hotel because they weren't ready for me yet. I had to make sure I waited till the next day and then make sure that there was availability. So with that being said, that didn't help either in that situation. But I went to Signature Health and I ended up, or not Signature Health, but Project Hope, and signing up for Signature Health. I tried to do the right things, but my drug problem just spiraled out of control. And then having the issues.
Well, it didn't happen all by itself.
No, it definitely didn't.
Okay.
I didn't think in a million years I would have gotten on that Greyhound. I thought I was ready to go do the right thing. I'm not saying I wouldn't have been faced with those obstacles, but I didn't think it would have been so fast. It happened so quick to me. I was not expecting that. And I know my grandfather, I sat there and talked to him and told him, I knew I was doing bad. I just didn't know how to get the situation under control. And I didn't want to be captivated again. And I did put myself in detox a couple times at Laurelwood, but getting out of there, I felt like I can go right back and be okay again. But being homeless and having all the barriers that I had and going back to square one, it just wasn't helping.
What are the barriers? What barriers do you have?
Well, being homeless is definitely a barrier.
Okay.
For sure. Being in the streets and such, sleeping in bus stops and all that, that didn't help. And the Project Hope situation.
Why are you homeless?
Well, I mean, I have, it's not very easy to rent with my record either. So I have to figure out, that's one of the biggest reasons why I want to do sober living and work with counselors and such to figure out what I got to do to address those situations and figure out what I got to do in order to be eligible for housing again.
Okay. Well, you're homeless because any money that comes to you, you spend on drugs, and you don't have anywhere to live.
You're right, Robert.
Because you don't have any money because you're spending on drugs and because that's what you want to do.
Right? I mean, that's what a part of me that wants to do that. I want to do the right thing. I didn't necessarily start drugs until later in life. I went through a lot of BS and learned trades too on top of that. And I have to figure out what I got to do in order to get back into that mindset. And I want to do that. And I know that treatment will help me do that. and being able to have that
Didn't you,
structure.
didn't you do the jail treatment program
I
before?
did do the jail treatment program, and I actually.
Did you finish it?
I did finish it.
Then it didn't work.
I mean, it's not that it didn't work, it's that I went right back to the same.
Right, so it didn't work.
I mean,
If it would have worked, you wouldn't go back to the same thing, right? I mean, what did you learn at the jail treatment program?
well, I mean, I got to finally talk with other addicts and be around people that had the same problems I do, but I didn't resource myself either. I'm not ready for the community right now. I'm ready. I need to be able to have the structure and talk to people about what I need to do in order to put myself back in the community one day at a time. Like, I know that. Like, I know that I need to be able to.
You're using a bunch of words and phrases that are words and phrases that don't mean anything in the context of where you're at in your life.
I'm in a bad spot right now.
You've been in a bad spot for a long time and you won't get yourself out of it.
I want out of it.
To get out of it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, don't tell me that you're going to get out of it. Don't tell me you're going to do the right thing. Because you know what you have to do.
I want to show you.
You know what you have to do, but you won't do it.
I want to do it, Your Honor.
There you go with those words, those phrases that don't mean anything. You want to do it. So what if you want to do it? What does it matter if you want to do it?
I know I can do it. I know I can.
Okay. What is your psychological diagnosis?
Well, at a younger age, it was bipolar. I need to be reevaluated and diagnosed.
When is the last time you were evaluated?
It's been a while. I just know that the symptoms that I have are definitely, I have struggle in my mental and my mania issues. As far as that
When's
goes.
the last time you were prescribed any mental health medication?
It was when I first came into Lake County Jail, they prescribed me Prestige.
For what?
Anxiety and depression.
Okay.
I feel like I definitely need to continue to address those issues. So
What about before that?
Mentally stable.
Before you went into jail?
I was on Zoloft.
Who prescribed that?
The jail did. So,
No, before you went into jail.
you talking about last time? I wasn't.
No, you went into jail at the end of April. Okay?
Okay.
When was the last time before that you were prescribed mental health medication?
I was taking Zoloft in prison, and I didn't continue with it when I got out.
Okay. Anybody suggest that you should take meth with your mental health medication?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not a good idea. I hate the drug. As much as it don't sound like it, I don't want nothing to do with it no more.
Mr. Matthews? Anything more?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Well, you said you hate meth. You know what you told me a couple minutes ago?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then why do you take it?
It's self-tranquility. It's
Huh?
false tranquility. It's a temporary fix and medication that I know.
So the effect it has on you mellows you out? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, I'm not wild or crazy on it. Like, at the same time, it makes me feel good, and it's definitely a problem. It's definitely not healthy for me either. I definitely need to figure out what I gotta do in order to take the right medications, and to figure out what I gotta do to counsel myself in order to not be in that type of mindset no more. I know I can do it.
All this stuff you're telling me, is that just something you tell me because every time you go to court, and those are the type of things you're supposed to say?
No, Your Honor. I know that as a man, I should be not even in this position right now. I need to be able to get myself back in the position of doing the right thing and actually, instead of studying dumb stuff, studying the right things, getting educated so I can make myself a better me and not have to worry about substances, figure out what I gotta do in order to put time behind substances. You know, to get the right counseling and meet and link with the right people too. I can't do it on my own, I know that for a fact. I already tried and it doesn't work.
When's the last time you tried that?
What, try and do it on my own?
Uh-huh.
As soon as I got out of prison. I mean, I did try to do the right thing, but at the same time, like, obviously, I should have said no to smoking weed too. But
So what's your source of income?
right now, I have no source of income.
Did you work in the year that you were out of prison until you got caught here?
I tried to work. I didn't. I mean,
Where?
I worked with a buddy doing rehabbing houses, but other than that, not really. I used to always have a job. That's what another thing too. Like, I want to be able to get myself back to the point where I can actually go to work or figure out what I got to do in order to have an income.
Well, you know what you have to do to have an income. You got to get a job, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you worked as a CNC operator for a long time, didn't you?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
So why don't you do that?
I want to do that. I want to.
I know. Question was, why don't you do that?
Well,
Why didn't you get off the bus and go start applying for a job like that?
I need to address my drug and mental health issues, and that would be the first step back in the community, would be making sure I rebuild my resume so I can actually do that. The same desire, I have a lot of desire to do the right thing. I just got to be able to put myself and get the help that I need in order to be strong enough to be able to re-enter and actually do it.
See, the problem is, last time we gave you the help you needed, right? And you blew it off. In May of 22, you just blew it off.
I went
right?
back to being.
So we gave
same
you that help you
situation.
needed, and you said, screw it, I'd rather do the meth. So you telling me that doesn't mean anything.
Well,
Why would that mean
something.
anything to me?
Well, I mean, because look, I'm right back at square one again.
Right.
You know, I understand that, but I also am asking for help in the treatment, and I know that I could prove that differently.
Yeah, well, why don't you help yourself?
I have a long ways to go. I know that.
Why don't you help yourself?
Well, I'm trying to help myself. That's why I'm asking for help. Helping myself I wasn't helping myself. I need to address what I had to do in order to destroy myself too.
I know that. That's why we're here.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the psychological evaluation, and I reviewed the letter you sent me. Listen to you, listen to counsel, considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. I'm going to put you on community control for 5 years. 180 days in jail with credit for 114. The last 30 days you're going to be in the jail treatment program. You're going to complete it and follow all the recommendations. And this time I think you should sit there and actually listen instead of fumbling your thumbs and staring at the wall.
Yes, Your Honor.
After you complete that, you're going to go to NeoCap, complete that program, and follow all those recommendations. After that, you're going to go to a sober living facility for a minimum of 6 months. Complete that. No drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. And you get another mental health evaluation. And you're going to follow all their recommendations. You're to go to only one doctor and one dentist and one pharmacy for any prescriptions that you get. You're going to take your medication as is prescribed. You're going to obtain and maintain full-time employment. If you don't comply with the terms, then the state will file a motion to terminate your community control, and if I find you violated, then it's 30 months in prison. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you got what you wanted today. All the treatment you can handle. Problem solved, right?
I mean, it's gonna take me going to do all the treatment, taking it seriously and doing the right thing one day at a time. I know I definitely can do it. I'm getting too old for this. I need to be able to do the right thing, be able to be a father, and actually go and get a job.
Okay, so what you need to, what you need to do is you need to stop talking and to start doing.
Yes,
Okay, because you can talk a good game, but you don't play a good game. Remaining charges are dismissed. Items subject to forfeiture are forfeited. Anything else, Ms. Wood?
No,
Mr. Matthews?
No, Your Honor, thank you.